Greetings, bike guys and bike gals. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Rieju, so stick around. Hey bike guys, I get phone calls all the time because we posted some videos on the Rieju brand, and a lot of people go, oh, I've never heard of Rieju before. So I thought what we'd do is try and answer maybe 10 questions on what is a Rieju. So let's start with that. Who is Rieju? Well, Rieju is a Spanish motorcycle builder. And they started out in 1934 building bicycles. So they've been building bikes for 80 years. Now, they never really imported them in that to America because they build small little street bikes, mopeds, scooters, and a bunch of different, they make like road racing bikes and stuff like that, but they're all small bore, like 50s, 100s, 125s and that sort of thing. But they know how to build bikes. They've been doing it for a long time. And so that's question number one. Who is Rieju? Now, Rieju ended up picking up Gas. So who is Gas? Now, a lot of modern riders have gone down to their local KTM or Husqvarna dealer and they see the Gas in there and they think it's a brand new bike that just popped up, but that's not true either. Gas has been around for a long time. And Gas is the factory that Rieju acquired when KTM bought the name Gas. And then KTM put new plastics on their bikes and made those new models, and they called them Gas. Gas is that term over in Spain is fast. So when you want to go fast, you say, I'm going to go gas. And that's where that name came from. But Gas started back in 1985 building trials and enduro bikes in Spain. And you may have heard of some of the other brands that they are affiliated with, one of them being Bultaco. For you older guys, you probably remember Bultacos being around. And some of you have heard of OSA. And they are all the people, the same people now, are all working together building Rieju. So Gas and Rieju and Bultaco and OSA, they've all been affiliated in one way or the other. So that's how Gas became Rieju. KTM came in and bought the rights to the name, and then they sold those rights to build those bikes to Rieju. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, KTM still is a part owner in that company. So you'll see sometimes on a Rieju, you'll see some parts and things like that look the same as they are on a KTM. Now, it's not the same as a KTM, but some of the parts are still interchangeable. That would be number 3. Now, number 4. The Rieju is a world-class enduro bike. In fact, Gas, the company, had hired Jordi Torres back in 1993, and he became the world champion in trials riding a Gas. And then in 1994, Paul Edmondson, he was the world champion enduro rider, and he went and was riding the Gas bikes and did a lot of good for them in getting the name out. And then later on in 2005, Adam Raga, which you probably see in the trials competitions that you see on MAV TV or something like that, he's one of those guys that's up there riding in the top levels of that. Now, he's no longer riding on a gas, but he was a world champion that was riding gas. So who else is riding number 5? Who else is riding Rieju? Well, nationally here in the Hard Enduro Series that goes across the United States, Quinn Wenzel is our factory-backed pro rider, and he's been having all kinds of top 5 and top 10 finishes riding the Rieju and doing real well. If you follow the International 6-Day Enduro, or the ISDE, if you've watched any of those races that are on YouTube in that, you'll see the Rieju showing up in there. And you'll notice them at first because they're black, because they're riding the pro model of the Rieju 300. And then if you are really into this stuff and you start looking for the World Enduro Championship events, you'll see the Riejus in there. That's the ones that are doing like a sprint enduro, and they do them all over Europe, and it's a big event too. So that's number 5. Now, number 6, how is the power? Oh, I'm telling you, I've owned a lot of motorcycles in my day, and I am really impressed with the power of this machine. Not only is it powerful, but it's very easy to ride. It's easy to control when you're going up a rocky canyon or something like that, in a creek bed or something like that. You can keep it under control, but then it makes really good power if you come out on a road or you're in a fast section. They rate that engine at 54 horsepower, which is enough power to keep up with most 450s. But it's, like I say, it's really easy to ride, the way the power valve and the carburation is, and that it's nice and smooth. Number 7, carbs versus fuel injection. Now, KTM has gone primarily to fuel injection on most of their bikes. And then I believe TM Racing also has an option where you can buy it carbureted or fuel injected. And I've ridden them both, and I like the fuel injection. I don't have any problem with it. But what I've learned is the fuel injection is a more complex system. Now, if you really like, the modern design of the fuel injection that does all the adjustments for you and everything like that, that's one thing. I'm a little bit of an older rider, so I'm used to setting up my carburetors, and if they need a little jetting or something, it's just not a big deal to me. I've been very pleased with my 300 MR300 that I've been riding. It has the carburation on it. I've run stock jets. The only thing I changed was the needle in there to get a better transition from the power jet or the pilot jet to the main jet, and it's been good. And we ride typically around 4,000 to 5,000 feet of elevation here. And I've had no problems there. I've run it up as high as 10,000 feet, and it still ran. Yes, it runs a little fat up at those elevations, and I've run it down as low as 2,000 feet, and it seemed to be fine. I didn't have any problem. Number 8, we think they have the best suspension for off-road riding. They have the KYB forks and a KYB shock on it, and if you're familiar with their products, they are probably the best available without going to some high-dollar A-kit stuff. And these were designed and put together by a company called Technical Touch out of Europe, and Technical Touch does all the valving and everything like that, and in my opinion, they got it right on, right out of the box. I've had a couple of heavier riders that were, over 220 or something like that, and they've gone to a little one step up on the rear spring, and then still be able to use the forks the way they came without any problem. So the suspension, in my opinion, is the best available right now in enduro. Number 9, how does it handle? Well, it's a very neutral handling bike. It doesn't do anything weird. In fact, I think the company that is building the frames for the KTM is also building the frames for Rieju, and they're using a lot of the same dimensions and layout on that. So it handles excellent. It's what I've noticed about it is in comparison to riding the TM, and the TM has an aluminum frame, it's a really dynamic handling bike, the TM is, and it really lends itself to the expert and pro level rider. But when we get tired, or maybe we don't have that same skill set and that, it makes it harder to hang on to. You can hit stuff harder and faster and be more precise, but the Rieju is more forgiving. So I give a few more points to the Rieju for the handling. And then number 10, the question is, okay, how much? Well, in the 300 class, they have a basic model, and it's called the Racing MR 300 Racing, and it is $9,695, and that's the suggested retail on it. And then if you want to step up from there, they have what's called a Pro version, and the Pro version comes with a whole bunch of neat upgrades on it, such as X-Trig triple clamps. It's got bigger, heavier duty hubs and wheels. They put Renthal bars on there. They add some other things to it to give it that Pro version. The Pro version comes with a fan kit already installed and that sort of thing too. So the Pro version is $1,000 more. It's $10,695. And they also have an ISDE version. And the ISDE version is similar to the Pro. It shares a lot of the same components. I'm not sure that I don't think it comes with the same X-Trig triple clamps, but it has other bits and pieces on it, a heavier duty skid plate, a better quality skid plate, and a bunch of things on it, and it's just an awesome looking bike. But I appreciate you guys watching our videos. I hope I answered some of your questions. You can always send us an email or put a comment in the bottom down there. We appreciate you guys who are subscribers, and we're going to have a lot more on the Rieju and some other bikes coming up in the following year. So stick around, stay plugged in, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.